A beautiful day in the city of brotherly love. We welcome you to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home of Temple University, and the Owls with their first home game of 2020 hosting the Mustangs of SMU here on the American Digital Network. And what a game it is going to be. SMU coming off a huge victory over ECU, looking to build on the momentum as we take a look at the standings in the American. Temple currently 5th in the standings, 2-1, looking to continue their 3-game win streak. SMU, we mentioned that big victory Wednesday night at ECU, looking to build on the momentum, hoping to move to 2-1 in conference play. Welcome you here to the McGonigal Hall. Glad to have you with us alongside Angela Beck. I'm Kit McGonigal, and Coach, looking forward to a great matchup between these two teams. Very different, contrasting styles.
Yes, exactly. Temple is very offensive-minded. They score over 70 points a game. Conversely, then you have SMU, who's defensive-minded. They're in the top categories in blocks and steals in a game. So can you handle the ball, and can you stop their transition is the key. Should make for a great game. We take a look at your keys to this one first for the visitors. Well, the Mustangs have to limit their fouls because they aren't as deep as they need to be, and then get back in transition and limit the second chance points of the Owls. And your keys for the Owls? Well, they need to take care of the basketball, contain dribble penetration, and make the shots when they count. Players to keep an eye on for SMU? Well, SMU, Janasia Cash, she's 6'2" junior. She is their muscle in the middle. She's athletic. She's rebounds tough. She's one of the top leaders in the American. And for Temple? Well, Temple, you have 5'8" sophomore Marissa Mackins, and she is has ACC honors. She came off 25 points against Tulsa. She's an elusive guard. She's hard to guard because she can read screens, and she moves off the ball. It'll be the Owls and the Mustangs tipping off coming up on North Broad Street after this on the American Digital Network.
At SMU, I found professors who care about my success.
And the space to take risks.
Make mistakes and grow quickly.
These experiences are helping me chart my own course.
Dallas's can-do culture and SMU support bring out the best in me.
We are creators, innovators,
disruptors, builders,
and problem solvers shaping the future.
If we think it gets done.
That's the enterprising spirit of SMU.
Come reimagine the world with us.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Changes are on the way.
Moments away from tip-off here at McGonigal Hall, we take a look at the starting lineups for today's contest. Bradley, the star freshman, the point guard. She is the leader for SMU. Keep an eye on number 13. She and Bacon, a very potent backcourt pairing. And the power up front in the post, number 25, Mia Davis, averages a double-double. She is outstanding for Temple, and the question is, how will SMU be able to shut her down? As we now welcome in the third member of our broadcast crew, we head down sideline with Varun Ragapathy.
Hey, Kate, great to be with you. Thank you so much for joining us here at McGonigal Hall. Now, these are two young and promising teams, but they both have a lot to improve upon. When we spoke with Coach Travis Mays for SMU, he said he loved the team's grittiness and resiliency, but he thinks they need to do a better job of executing the game plans and trusting the plays that Coach Mays draws up. On the other side, Temple has won 3 straight, but their head coach, Tanya Cardoza, really doesn't like the way they've been winning games. She says right now, frankly, we're not a very good defensive team, so if anything, we know the 2020 New Year's resolutions for both of these squads.
Thank you, Varun. And Coach, that's one thing. You and I both a bit surprised. Coach Cardoza, her team on a 3-game winning streak, but she wasn't very happy with the way her team, the Owls, had won these last 3 games.
Well, I think she's very simplistic-minded in what she has, and she has a young team, and she doesn't want to throw too much at them. So, to her credit, she's figured out, what her kids can and can't do, and she's keeping it simple.
Two teams contrasting. We mentioned the offensive capabilities of Temple, particularly here at home, what they've been able to do. This is their first home game of 2020. long awaited. And Mia Davis, she has been outstanding. A double-double in the last 6 games, averaging a double-double on the season. You take a look at Coach Cardoza, the former All-American at UVA, 12th season here on North Broad Street, the winningest coach in Temple women's basketball history, and she leads from the top. It is a very tough, hard-nosed style, and she brings that out in her players.
She does, and she's paid her dues. 15 years with Gino at UConn. She's seen 5 national championships. She's not playing games here. She's winning games.
You're right about that, Coach. And on the other side, Travis Mays. Travis, the former University of Texas Longhorn star, the 1990 NBA pick in the first round by the Sacramento Kings. Another man who he paid his dues in before taking over the head coaching job there at University Park.
Well, he did, and we're trying to figure out how old this guy is. I mean, he has 11 years he played, and then he has 14 years as an assistant. I'm like, oh my God, how old is he? He looks so young.
Whatever Coach Mays is doing, it is certainly working. We'll have to ask him after the game. Getting ready for the opening tip. Temple, the home team, will be in the white and cherry. SMU, the road blue. Both teams coming off a victory in conference. Both understand the importance of continuing with the momentum because both these teams, they are young. And you look at the Americans, so much parity this year from top to bottom. And both coaches said the same thing to us. Anyone can beat anyone on any given day.
Well, Travis Mays is hoping his team has the road warrior kind of mentality. They went to ECU and stole one on the road. Now, can they win this one? And it's gonna pave the way to what they do when they're on the road.
Ready to tip things off on North Broad Street. Underway, Temple takes the opening tip, and the Owls will have the first possession.
Both teams in a man-to-man offensive look here. 4 out, 1 in.
Mackin, the shooter, knocks it down. The sophomore from North Carolina, and the Temple on top early.
We talked about her in our pregame. You got to find her. And she gets hot like that. She had 5 threes in the last game.
Marissa Mackins, Coach Cardoza says, if she gets hot, if she feels it, watch out. Now SMU looking to respond to their opening possession.
Well, SMU showing a lot of patience on offense, getting some ball reversal, but they had Paige Bayless in the lane a little too long.
Bayless camping out, the 6'5" sophomore center from Queensland, Australia. Coaches want her to be a bit more aggressive, certainly has the capability. Just not cognizant of how much time she's spent in the lane, and now Temple back with it, looking to go inside. You see the power underneath, the miss from Davis, rebounded. Here come the Mustangs, looking to run with transition from the corner. Off the mark, Bacon unable to knock it down. Both these teams, they will run given the opportunity.
Yeah, Amber Bacon has really struggled from the three-point area, 2 for 16, and she was just like right inside that. So her shot looked a little off there.
Mia Davis extends the Owls' lead 4-0. The junior from Baltimore, undersized at 6 foot. I mentioned already numerous times what she's able to do, pulls down the board. Great start from the Owls, looking to extend it to 3 ball. Bayless there with the rebound. Now SMU the other way, looking to push in transition. Temple doing a very good job getting numbers back defensively. Underneath Bayless. Unable to knock it down. Another rebound, already the 3rd from Mia Davis. Mackins for 3. Batted into the hands of Bayless. SMU still yet to find their opening basket.
Well, the Temple right now is kind of wearing me out watching this up and down as fast as they are, but it's going to be, a lot's going to be about rebounds here. If they're one and done, it's going to be hard.
So far, that's been the case for SMU. They've had no second chance opportunities. All of the defensive boards dominated by the Owls underneath. Called the jump ball. Davis again just does a great job positioning herself on the glass on both ends of the floor.
Well, rebounding is mentality, and you don't have to be big to be a rebounder, and she's got the mentality. She understands if the shot goes this way, where I need to have my body on the weak side, and she positions herself, like you said.
A number of times, Coach called Davis tough and strong, up in double digits, and you can already see it. Just has that mentality, does Mia Davis. Looking to establish position. Bayless thought about it.
One thing that the Owls are trying to do is limit penetration, and they're doing a great job of it early. They're not giving them any room to drive at all, and that's causing SMU to be a little bit stagnant on what they're doing.
All Temple early on, looking to extend the lead. And then gets it back. The graduate out of Senegal originally. Davis driving on Bayless, high off the glass, and hits a difficult shot.
Well, she got to Bayless's body. She took the dribble, went inside, and got into her body, and then up and under.
Mia Davis already showing what a force she is. 3 rebounds, 4 points.
They're trapping that pick off the high post.
Batted around on the baseline, and it will be.
That's good sacrifice of the body for Jakia White. She got down on the ground and saved that for SMU.
The sophomore from DeSoto, just south of Dallas, cousin of Kayla White. And SMU finally on the board, much needed from the Mustangs, courtesy of Amber Bacon.
A little left-hand stab hook shot by the Bacon.
Bacon, another DFW Metroplex product, is Mackin's unable to hit from long range. Temple settling for the outside shot. So far have not been able to knock it down. Now SMU with 3 of their own.
Well, Coach Travis Mays talked about getting it down before the defense gets set up, and that was better for SMU. They just didn't hit the shot.
Yeah, now to Mackins will reset things offensively for Temple. Davis, 4 points, 4 rebounds for the double-double machine early on, and she draws the foul.
It's a nice left-hand drive by Davis, showing a little versatility with the dribble for the big girl.
Davis can do it all. Has great size, good into the post, and you see the drive in here, draws the foul, and he'll be charged.
She switched it to her right hand and drew the foul. It's crafty.
Underneath, wide open, a great look from Alexander with the assist.
Well executed out of bounds play, little lateral screen on the big girl Bayless to leave a wide open layup.
And the foul the other way, drawn by Davis.
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job on Cash. They're trying to bottle up Cash, and Cash is getting a little bit frustrated here in the early going.
So far, Janasia Cash, the muscle in the middle, as Coach Mays called her, yet to put her impact on this game. Great start for Temple. Back with Davis. Underneath. Bayless able to go straight up. No whistle. And Alina Niang, the senior from Dakar, Senegal, transfer from NC State on the board.
That's an assist from Atkinson, though, because out of bounds, she saved that ball.
Another foul on the Mustangs over the back, and it is all Owls early on. 11-2, Temple leads, 4:45 remaining in the first.
At SMU, I found professors who care about my success.
And the space to take risks.
Make mistakes and grow quickly.
These experiences are helping me chart my own course.
Dallas's can-do culture and SMU support bring out the best in me.
We are creators, innovators,
disruptors, builders,
And problem solvers shaping the future.
If we think it, it gets done.
That's the enterprising spirit of SMU.
Come reimagine the world with us.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Big changes are on the way.
undeniable.
First home game of 2020 for the Temple Owls, and it is all Owls early on. They lead SMU 12-2 here on the American Digital Network as we head back down to check in with Varun.
Welcome back. Temple off to a terrific start here at McGonigal, up 12-2 over SMU. You're seeing the Owls get up a lot of shots, especially early in the shot clock. While that might surprise some people, Coach Cardoza says our philosophy needs to be that we must outscore these teams, and in doing so, got to get a lot of possessions, a lot of extra shots. She also says that she's not going to stop her players from taking open shots. She says all of our players can shoot. Every game seems to be a different player with the highest score, and so far Temple spreading the love and getting a lot of good looks because they're executing early in the shot clock.
Thank you, Varun. And Coach, so far, I mean, you take a look at the standings. Temple in 5th, 2-1. They've won the last 3 games. SMU, a tough loss in their first game in conference. They bounced back impressively Wednesday. They were at East Carolina, I should say. They turned the ball over 27 times, but still came away victorious.
Yeah, I see Temple as one of the top teams in this conference. I think they're going to challenge UCF and USF for the top. UConn's in a league of its own, except for when they play Baylor. That was a little bit of a surprise, but still, Gino will take that loss, right? Because he'll learn a lot about his team. Exactly right, particularly this early in the season. Temple back to work. So far, impressing the fans here at home for the first time in 2020. Davis, 6 rebounds, 4 points. Mia Davis is out-rebounding SMU 6-5. Mackins drops it in from long range. Well, when we get a little time to do a preview, we got to preview her shot because she has one of the best shots. Mackins got the high archer, quick release, beautiful shot. Coach called her a shooter, pure and simple. The sophomore from Durham, North Carolina, extends the Temple lead. They are shooting 50% from long range. SMU just 1 field goal thus far, and on cue, able to hit a big 3 of their own. Well, that was a well-needed 3 by SMU. They just got to settle down, get some good looks, and hit their open shots. They're not getting second chance opportunities. One thing you said early on, Temple great on the boards. Mackins really starting to feel it. Well, she's a rhythm shooter, and you can't give her rhythm. But I think the SMU's dug a little bit of a hole here because they're 1 of 9 in the first few minutes of the game. They weren't hitting any shots. So if they start hitting some shots, then we'll see something different here. We'll see what they can do on the boards. Maybe get themselves some second chance opportunities. Able to keep it in. Driving in, Bradley, the star freshman. Mackins with it into the front court. Here come the Owls in transition. Unable to hit the layup, and the foul will be against Temple. That was a great transition, but came up empty. It's 2-on-1. And credit them for getting back. It's 2-on-1 opportunity here. Ashley Jones just did not finish, and got Jonasia Cash with the cleanup. Jones, the local product from right here in Philadelphia, transfer from West Virginia with the rebound. Another one of the Owls who can light it up. Cross court. Leon back to Mackins. Patient from Temple. I like the way they're sharing the ball. They're moving the ball. They're not putting the dribble down all the time. A lot of people have touched it in this possession. There you go, Mackins again. Mackins off the side of the iron, unable to get the putback, but another offensive rebound, and the Owls will have another opportunity. Jones from long range. I mean, that was kind of NBA-ish. I mean, that was in your face. I think Jones may have had a word after the shot as well. A quick release. Ashley Jones continues the onslaught and had the rebound stolen away at the other end. Jones unable to hold on. Temple, they thought that it may have been a foot on the baseline. Instead, the foul will go against the Owls with 2:10 remaining in the first quarter. Yeah, Atkinson just got her knee out there and pushed her out of bounds, so got a blocking foul. A 15-point Owls lead as Bayless will head to the bench. Both teams take the opportunity to make some changes. Into Bradley. Star freshman unable to hit. Yeah, we haven't talked about Bradley too much. I thought we might see more of her early here, but that's the first good look that she's gotten. So you look at, Coach Cardozo talked about her team can't play defense. I'm not sure. I think she might be setting everybody up here.
Maybe that's what she just told us.
Yeah, I think her team's pretty good defensively, and one of her best players is zero, Ashley Jones, and she's got Bradley, so she's probably shutting her down.
So far, Bradley has been shut down, the star freshman out of Little Rock, Arkansas. The prototypical point guard, says Coach Mays. They need to get her more involved into the front court. Bacon underneath, a good look. A lot of contacts. The whistle will go against the Owls. Kayla White, take another look here. You see White underneath, couldn't finish from point blank range. A foul committed on Williamson.
It's kind of inadvertent, that foul, but she did body her up. Little switch now, 1-2-2 zone for the Owls.
Mackins with the miss, the rebound. Temple, another opportunity. Back to Mackins. Drives in. Oh, what a look underneath, and the finish by Davis.
Well, that's one reason she's a really good passer, because she gets dribble penetration and she pitches, keeps her eyes open.
Puts the pressure on the Mustangs defensively, extends the Owls' lead. And nothing going SMU's way with 60 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, shooting 9 of 20 in this quarter. The Owls are for 45% and 2 of 14 for SMU, so they've kind of shot themselves.
Back to Mackins. Hand in her face, unable to get the shot off. Will go to Jones for three, and Jones, no trouble. Ashley Jones, who's come off the bench. The redshirt sophomore filling it up from long range.
Well, they're getting set, and they're just firing it up. And one of the things coaches said, if you're open, and it's, take a shot. And that's what they're doing.
Kayla White off the front of the iron will stay with the Mustangs. Kayla White underneath. And the rebound kept in play. Great work there from Alexa Williamson, able to keep it alive. Unselfish at the other end. And Temple extends their lead at the end of the first quarter. And the first 10 minutes belong to the Owls.
Well, that's tremendous transition. One thing that SMU talked about was getting back, and they're not getting back, so that's too easy.
27-5, Temple on top as we head to the second quarter here on the American Digital Network.
At SMU, I found professors who care about my success.
And the space to take risks.
Make mistakes and grow quickly.
These experiences are helping me chart my own course.
Dallas's can-do culture and SMU support bring out the best in me.
We are creators, innovators,
disruptors, builders,
and problem solvers shaping the future.
If we think it, it gets done.
That's the enterprising spirit of SMU.
Come reimagine the world with us.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Big changes are ahead.
Scores! 3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year.
Hueso from 30.
Unbelievable.
And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
The Owls back at home, first time at McGonigal in 2020, and what a display they put on for the fans in the first quarter. 27-5, Temple leading SMU, and a lot of it from long range.
They share the ball so well, and they get ball reversal. And when they're open, they fire it up, and Mackins just has a beautiful looking shot, and she's fired it up 3 times. So she's got three made three-pointers.
Mackins leads all scorers, 8 points. Jones contributing a 3 of her own. Davis getting into the action as well. And right now, Temple shooting from the field 47%, 10 of 21, and almost as good from long range. They are 5 of 11 from three-point range. Conversely, SMU just 14% from the field, 2 of 14. They're actually shooting better from 3, 25%, 1 of 4. But no second chance opportunities for SMU. The defense and the rebounding, exceptional for Temple.
Well, 15 rebounds for Temple and only 8 for SMU. And SMU's known for the rebounding. Coming in this game, I would have thought they would have the rebounding edge, but right now, there's nothing. I mean, there's no second chance points for them.
Coach, when you and I spoke with Travis Mays earlier this week, 4th-year head coach of SMU, he said this is a gritty team. So far, we have yet to see that from his young Mustangs, and they're going to have to fight to get back in this one.
Well, let's think about the preseason. SMU's picked 12th preseason, and these guys are picked 6th. So, you know, it's kind of what we're seeing right now. They're not able to match the talent that they have right now.
Yang unable to get into the act, 3-point shooting. SMU said that's bulletin board material. It was motivation for their players to be picked last in the preseason poll in the American. But you're seeing the difference right now. Temple physically just out-muscling SMU, particularly on the glass. SMU not having those second chance opportunities, and a frustrated Travis Mays, 4th-year head coach of the Mustangs.
Well, we're saying 4th year, and we've got Tanya Cordova in her 12th year. So when you're building a program, all the pieces of the puzzle aren't there. And Travis is still trying to get his kind of players in. He took over a program, he worked with the players he had, but now he's got new players. So this is a young team.
A young team indeed. And Temple maybe tried to do a bit too much. That ball knocked into the backcourt. They brought it back into the front court with just 8 seconds on the shot clock. And able to get a shot off, and SMU catches a break. Now they have to turn defense into offense.
Their continuity on their offense is just not there. They need to get the ball reversed quicker.
Looking underneath, Bayless draws the foul. The sophomore from Queensland, Australia, will head to the line. Hard to imagine the first free throws for either side.
Yeah, and they just can't make their putbacks right now. They just have to take their time. This is a physical Temple team. They're going to body you up when you have to put your putback up. So take your time, square up, and hit your shot.
Bayless, impressive player, 6'5", has the ability to step out. Coaches want her to play with more confidence, be more aggressive, and a little less deferential sometimes. Able to knock down both free throws, makes it a 20-point game. Wondered what SMU would have coming out in this second quarter. Starting to see some fight for the young Mustangs. Mackins, cross court. Neon for 3, well off the mark, but the rebound keeps it with the Owls. Now to Alexander, unable to hit another offensive rebound.
Well, ball reverse, skip pass, inside out. They're doing it all right now. Sharing the basketball, hitting the open man. Good defensive steal there.
SMU in transition, the basket and the foul. Amber Bacon, the defensive motors, shows what she can do on the defensive end and turns it into points on offense.
She's a combination guard, and here she goes. And when she gets the steal here, she goes on a straight vertical line to the basket, and she's looking to attack. And that's all heart right there. I mean, good finish, little spin move there.
Bacon, sophomore out of Grand Prairie, just north of Dallas. And that backcourt pairing with Bradley, the 2 underclassmen. But so far, it's been Bacon thus far. Reagan Bradley, we heard so much about her, and rightfully so. She is without a field goal, 0 for 3. Just 1 rebound, no assist for Bradley thus far.
Young players, if you want to see a good offense, take a look at this Temple offense. They're moving off the ball. Good defense there, but moving off the ball and getting good and passing well.
SMU with the steal, looking to go the other way. Another basket in the foul. Maybe this sparks the Mustangs offense.
That's 2 steals in a row and a layup's on the other end. So little crossover, she splits the defender, and very good finish there by Bradley. We've been waiting to see her. There you go.
The steady force for the Mustangs, and hard to imagine she is just a freshman, but Coach May says she's the one we want to go to. If the game's on the line, we're going to get the ball in her hands. That speaks volumes for a first-year player.
Yeah, she's physically strong, more physically strong than most freshmen.
Mackins sets things up. Another turnover, and all of a sudden things, I wouldn't say starting to unravel, but the very crisp offense we saw from the Owls in the first quarter, not the case here, 2.5 minutes into the second.
Well, you might credit Travis Mays on that. He pulled his kids over to the sideline, having a talk with them, so I think they've really upped their intensity. Timeout
on the floor, 7:14 remaining in the second quarter. Temple, they have seen their lead shrink, but it's still the Owls on top, 27-12.
At SMU, I found professors who care about my success.
And the space to take risks.
Make mistakes and grow quickly.
These experiences are helping me chart my own course.
Dallas's can-do culture and SMU support bring out the best in me.
We are creators, innovators,
disruptors, builders,
and problem solvers shaping the future.
If we think it, it gets done.
That's the enterprising spirit of SMU.
Come reimagine the world with us.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Big changes are on the way.
Take a look at the upcoming broadcast here on the American Digital Network. We'll be back to Greenville, North Carolina. Coach will be there tomorrow. ECU hosting Wichita State, and then on to Kansas before a week in the Sunshine State. Big games at UCF bookended, and then there with the Bulls of USF hosting Houston on Wednesday the 29th. Again, all upcoming games for you here on the American Digital Network as we head back down to the sideline to check in with Varun.
Hey kids, so this SMU team making some inroads. It's a little bit different of a team than Coach Mace has had through his first 4 years. It's very guard heavy. As you can see, they'll do a 4-out, 1-in from time to time, and that's helping with their perimeter defense. They had 2-and-1 opportunities because of steals and quality perimeter defense. They need to continue to be strong on the ball, as Coach Mace said, and that starts with the dynamic backcourt led, of course, by Reagan Bradley.
Thank you, Varun. Coach, that's exactly what you said. It's taken time for Travis Mays to get the players into SMU that he wanted, but he's now starting to get this guard-heavy rotation that's really a trademark of his style.
Yeah, it's definitely his style, and he Bradley's a great young player that he got out of Little Rock, so she's developing, and she's got a really good guard on her today, so she's going to have to work a little bit harder. She and Cash have got to show up now.
A three well short. SMU able to keep it alive. Great job. But then the rebound pulled down by the Owls. Coach Mays told us that he wants his team to, quote, max out for 40 minutes, and that is all about buying in, doing the little things, the details, and we've seen more of that here. And then on cue from long range, the Owls are there again. Alina Neon, the grad transfer, knocks down the three.
Neon's, she's a long body. She's got a beautiful rotation on her shot. She's a great little player.
We've seen it on both ends, 6'2" for the Senegal native. And then the other end, Bradley, good news for SMU, maybe starting to find her footing offensively. Temple slowing things down. Mackins around the screen. Bringing Davis over. Bradley defending. Davis cross court, Leon. Underneath, high off the glass. Davis with the rebound. Can't get the putback to go. Bayless with the Mustangs. Quick outlet up the floor. 3-on-1. The basket and the foul. The third time in this quarter. And SMU will have a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, I usually prefer they use the glass in a situation like that, but she just kind of rolled it. Or did she use it? I think she did use the glass, didn't she?
Ayla White may have gotten just enough of it. The sophomore guard out of DeSoto. Coaches call her the punch off the bench. Completes the three-point play in what was a 22-point lead early in the second quarter. That has been trimmed to just 13. A lot of contact underneath, but no foul. Williamson there trying to go up over Bayless.
I think SMU came out a little shell-shocked. You know, young team, new environment, and it took them a while, but I see some really great things happening in their speed and their quickness, and their defense has really picked up.
Coach Mays told you and I that his team, because of their youth, it's been a lot of learning on the fly, and we saw that in the first quarter. They may have not come out as prepared as he wanted them to, but they've responded nicely. Davis underneath. Davis draws the foul, and Bayless looks over at the official saying, I don't know what else I could have done. She didn't go in the air, kept her hands up. Take another look at it.
Look at the pass. I mean, that's a great pass. She gets up, she secures it. Bayless kind of walked into it with the body, but it's still a tough call.
We'll send Amia Davis to the line, shooting two. Bayless charged with the foul.
It's interesting, they have a 6'2" player shooting on the outside and a 6-foot player on the inside, so it doesn't matter what size you are.
That's a great lesson for young players. And we've seen that from Temple, the versatility of their parts. You see Davis at 6 feet inside, Leon 6'2", she'll be outside, and then they switch. One thing the Owls fans know is that everybody on the floor in Cherry and White can shoot the ball. (32-17) Owls halfway through the second quarter. And the pass intended, looking to get inside to White, knocked away. And the travel, the Owls turn it over on the other end.
Yeah, Cash came back in the game here, and they need to get her involved. She's 0 of 3 right now, and she is their catalyst. So hopefully you'll see this court they focus on her a little bit.
Major White, the Keystone State native out of McKeesport, Pennsylvania, back in her home state, looking to put on a show in front of friends and family. So far, not a lot of opportunities. Bacon. The rebound. Lena Young there again. Young now 3 rebounds to go along with 6 points. Davis wide open, no trouble.
Yeah, I think they're willing to give her that, but nothing inside, but they're gonna have to close out on that.
At the very least, get a handout in the face of Mia Davis.
They're taking White's player and doubling down on Cash, so they're not giving them the high-low. So Cash isn't open.
Davis, the double-double machine, already 10 points, 7 rebounds. Underneath, the blocking foul against Williamson. Alexa Williamson has that athletic ability, can jump out of the gym, just couldn't get set in time. Bacon headed to the line for the Mustangs.
Well, Bacon's been, doing it all for him. 3 of 6, 8 points, 4 rebounds. She's showed up.
Bacon and Bradley, that backcourt duo for Coach Mays. So far, Bacon leading the way, 1 of 2 in that trip to the line.
Right now, the Owls are on mark to do their 70 points if they keep at the tempo they are.
Underneath, Young unable to hold on to the rebound. Into the front court, Mustangs looking to run. Spins high off the glass, never drew iron. Now Temple the other way. A bit of helter-skelter from both of these teams. Not out of bounds. It will stay Owls ball.
I think when SMU looks at this film, they're going to want shots like that back. Every possession counts. You can't just throw something up there and hope for it. And that's contributing to their 6 of 27 for this game.
Young for 3. Well short rebounded and thrown away right to the Mustangs. Kayla White blocks.
Okay. I mean, that's like, get that out of here right now. That's all ball.
Dakar, Senegal native, doing her best to Kimbe Mutombo. I didn't see the finger, but everything else looks like the big man from the DRC. And nice response from Bradley, able to knock it down from the elbow.
SMU's like in the top third of the league in blocks, and it's not the Owls category, but they sure did block that one.
That was a block with emphasis. Just under 3 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. 14-point game, the floater. SMU doing a much better job on the glass, particularly on the defensive end. Cash with the basket. They needed to get Janasia Cash to come alive.
That came in transition just like Coach wanted, and they got the high-low quickly, and Cash has great hands, and she's able to finish.
12-point game. SMU looking for a stop, trying to get this one to single digits. Davis on Cash. Davis right over the 6'2" junior.
That's a very strong move there.
Davis giving up almost 3 inches, not phased for a second. Kayla White from long range.
Kayla White, she's athletic and she finishes her shots. She has scored 18 points in her last game, so she's capable of turning it on.
White providing that spark off the bench. It's an 11-point game. Batted into the hands of Davis. The miss, and the Young there. Third chance. The Owls unable to take advantage. Back to White. Bradley flies in for the rebound. Bradley with the putback.
Lots of stamina that they're talking about with Bradley. She's very strong, and that was a good putback.
The Temple lead, it was 22. It has now been cut to single digits. Big final 30 seconds here in the first half.
Shots that started falling early have not been falling for the Owls here late. They've missed several open jumpers. One of the things Coach talked about is hitting their open shots.
Amani Mayo right at Janasia Cash. Cash whistled with a foul, and that will send Amani Mayo, the junior from Georgia. Coaches praise her work rate to the line.
That's Cash's second personal foul of the game.
Cash will give way to Alexis Leggett. Leggett, the 6'3" redshirt freshman forward out of Alabama.
Monty Mayo was a big-time player for them last year. Comes off the bench now and gives them a lot of good minutes, 15 minutes.
Mayo hits both free throws. Temple back to an 11-point lead. SMU looking to cut it to single digits before the halftime buzzer. White driving baseline, nowhere to go. Leggett knocks it down. Huge basket from Alexis Leggett. The other way, the basket and the foul. Circus shot from Asana Alexander, the Garden State native, who leads the conference in assists. That time didn't need any help.
Well, credit the fans. They all counting it down, and she's like, okay, just go straight to the hole.
Has the best assist to turnover ratio in the conference, unable to hit the free throw, and a foul on the rebound.
Not what you want to see if you're Coach Cardozo.
It looked like Temple, a circus shot from Alexander. Looked like they were going to be able to end the half on a high note. Not the case. Now it's SMU who may be able to grab some momentum heading to the locker rooms. Shaquille White at the line. 12 years the head coach here on North Broad Street. A lot of loyalty from her staff.
Yeah, she's kept her staff together for 12 years now, so there's a lot of continuity.
Alexander off the mark as the buzzer sounds, and as we go to half, Temple led by as many as 22. The Owls' lead has shrunk to 11. The first home game of 2020 at McGonigal Hall. Temple leading SMU 40-29. We now head down to check in with Varun, standing by with Coach Cardozo.
Thank you, Coach. You guys got off to a really, really good start. And you've been talking about how you want your team's defense to improve. What did you think of the defense throughout the first half?
In the first quarter, I thought we did a really good job of containing dribble penetration and not giving them things that they want. In the second quarter, they got out in transition a lot and gave them some life, and now they're looking to put the ball on the floor, and that's exactly what we don't want them to do.
And what did you think of your team's energy and execution on the offensive end of things?
I thought, again, in the first quarter, it was great. In the second quarter, we start turning the ball over, and again, they took our momentum away by getting out and getting easy transition. So we got to make sure we take care of the basketball.
Appreciate your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Kit, answer?
Thanks, Varun. A first quarter dominated by Temple. SMU came back in the second, but it's the Owls who lead 40-29 at half.
At SMU, I found professors who care about my success.
And the space to take risks.
Make mistakes and grow quickly.
These experiences are helping me chart my own course.
Dallas's can-do culture and SMU support bring out the best in me.
We are creators, innovators,
disruptors, builders,
and problem solvers shaping the future.
If we think it, it gets done.
That's the enterprising spirit of SMU.
Come reimagine the world with us.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Big changes are on the way.
Scores! 3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a fourth straight year.
Hueso from 30.
Unbelievable.
And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
First game of the year for the Owls at McGonigal Hall. Temple leads SMU 40-29 at the break. We now head down to check with Maroon, who's standing by with the newest member of the Owls athletic family.
All right, here with the new Temple women's soccer coach, Coach Boquette. So great to be with you. Welcome to Philly. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. Really excited to be here. Exciting day with a couple of basketball games on campus. Getting to know everyone right now. It's been great so far. Really excited to be here.
Now you're coming this way from Albany. Did great things with the Great Danes, and you, for the first time, ran a program and were the head coach. What did you learn about the overall aspect of doing that you're going to apply when you come here to Temple?
You know, it's always a big learning experience. Running any program is, and there's a lot of moving pieces. But probably the most important piece, and it's the same across coaching and any industry, is that what matters most is the people, and the right people in the right place in the right environment can make some magic happen.
And obviously, there's a lot of things that go into moving. Of course, moving is part of it. So what do the next few months look like for you, just getting settled in along with trying to run a program?
Yeah, well, immediately, we want to get in and start to get to know the student athletes as much as possible. It's their program. We're here trying to set the table for them to be as successful as possible. So really important that we start to get to know them. Then we start to build a staff around the same thing, around those student athletes, and how we can best support them. And then that's that small task of moving my family and wife and 2 young kids down here as well. That'll be fun.
Small task,
yeah.
You say. Small task, right. So what message do you have for the Temple people that are watching that maybe haven't gotten to know you just yet?
Well, just how excited I am and my family is to be down here. Can't wait to get started. Can't wait to start working with this fantastic group of student athletes and administrators. This culture is one, and I can't wait to be part of. So we're going to work tirelessly day in and day out to make the Temple community as proud as possible.
Well, I'm sure we're going to blink our eyes, and preseason's going to be here before you know it. So Nick Boquette, thank you so much for your time. This is the new Temple women's soccer head coach, and thank you very much for your time. Real quick, have you had any contact with the players at all? Just anything?
I was introduced to them via a telephone call, and so we've been starting to get to know each other that way, but I'll get to meet them all soon.
Well, fantastic, and I hope everything goes well for you. Welcome again to Philly, and more specifically Temple. Thank you for your time, Coach Boquette. We'll be talking to you soon.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right, an 11-point lead for the Owls over SMU. Halftime rolls on. We'll be back with the second half very shortly. This again, Coach Boquette. Take care.
At SMU, I found professors who care about my success.
And the space to take risks.
Make mistakes and grow quickly.
These experiences are helping me chart my own course.
Dallas's can-do culture and SMU support bring out the best in me.
We are creators, innovators,
disruptors, builders,
and problem solvers shaping the future.
If we think it, it gets done.
That's the enterprising spirit of SMU.
Come reimagine the world with us.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Big changes are on the way.
Scores!
3 strikeouts in a row. Dominance for a fourth straight year.
Hueso from 30!
Unbelievable.
And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
Halftime in Philadelphia, first home game of 2020 for the Owls, and off to a great start. They led by as many as 22, an 11-point lead over the Mustangs of SMU at half. Alongside Coach Angela Beck, I'm Kit McConico. Take a look at some of the highlights from the first 20 minutes.
Well, basically, SMU had to fight for everything they got, but they gave it a run. I mean, they're in the game. It's just that they need a few more runs like this where they get their offense going and they get the transition.
They dug themselves an early hole, SMU. They were just 2 of 16 from the field in the first quarter. They were 50%, 9 of 18 in the second, but that 22-point deficit they have been working diligently to overcome to get back. Kayla White doing her job, but the three ball, it was working for Temple. Temple shooting an impressive 31% from long range. In the first quarter, they were 5 of 11 from three-point range. But you see the field goal percentage, it was sky high for Temple in the first 10 minutes. It dropped off a bit. Rebounds, that 10-point differential, huge for the lead for the Owls.
Yes, and 14 of them are offensive rebounds. So that gives you more opportunities to score. So that's one thing they're doing, and SMU needs to stop them from getting second chance points.
Well, it's going to be big, the rebounds, those second chance points for SMU as they look to mount the comeback as we turn our sights to the second half coming up between the Owls and the Mustangs.
At SMU, I found professors who care about my success.
And the space to take risks.
Make mistakes and grow quickly.
These experiences are helping me chart my own course.
Dallas's can-do culture and SMU support bring out the best in me.
We are creators, innovators,
disruptors, builders,
and problem solvers shaping the future.
If we think it, it gets done.
That's the enterprising spirit of SMU.
Come reimagine the world with us.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Changes are on the way.
Scores 3 strikeouts in a row. Dominance for a 4th straight year. Cueto from 30. Unbelievable.
And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
Just minutes away from the start of the second half here at McGonigal Hall on North Broad Street. It's a 40-29 Owls lead as we head down to check in with Varun. He's standing by with the Mustangs head coach Travis Mays.
All right, here with Coach Mays. Coach, the first quarter obviously didn't go your way. What do you think your team did well in the second quarter to make it a closer game?
Well, we competed. The first quarter there, I don't think we competed. We came out extremely flat. They came out excited. We gave up way too many three-point shots. And we came back in the second quarter, and we actually competed on the defensive end. We rebounded the ball. We didn't give up open threes, and we started to attack. That's how we was able to score the 24 points in the second quarter.
You were getting a lot of transition opportunities because of that defense, the hands in the passing lane. What do you want to see more of in the second half for your team to complete this comeback?
Well, I would love to see a duplicate of the second quarter. I'd love to see the communication, the cohesiveness on defense, and I'd love to see us attack. I think that's where we get our confidence off of our defense to where we take it and transition into our offense.
Do you think there's going to be an emphasis on getting, say, Reagan Bradley going, or is it going to just be more of take what the defense gives you, so to speak?
Well, it's more take what the defense gives us, because right now I don't know who is the player that's going to step up for me on the offensive end. When I find that, then I can call some of those plays. I'm trying to get Kayla White going a little bit. I mean, she's on and off. She made one, she missed one, and I'm just trying to get her confidence going. I told her to do some other things, and the offense will come.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Kit, hands up.
Thanks, Varun. Take a look at the upcoming broadcast we will have for you here on the American Digital Network. Coach will be in Greenville, North Carolina tomorrow. ECU taking on Wichita State. And then the Shockers at home against USF. Then a week in the Sunshine State, a pair of games for UCF, bookending a game for USF as they host Houston on Wednesday the 29th. That'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So great games coming up for you here on the American Digital Network. Hope you'll join us for those as well. And a great second half for you as well. Coach Cardosa spoke with her going into half. The first quarter, it was all Temple. They came out on fire. You heard Coach Mays. He said our team we didn't know what to expect. Temple really took control, their first home game of the year. SMU battled back. The question is, are they going to have enough time? And which team will we see here to start the third quarter?
Well, the positive part for SMU is they got 11 fast break points in that quarter, and they got 16 points in the paint in the half. So they're getting some things going. But Cash is 1 for 4. She only has 1 board, so she's a key player for them, and they've limited her. Looking at Temple, you got Davis, 12 points, 5 of 7. 8 rebounds already. And, I think both teams have done a good job of not turning the ball over. So if they keep the way they're going, it's going to be who hits the right shots because, basketball's a game of runs, and whoever makes the most runs wins the game.
A game of momentum indeed. We'll see who has the momentum just seconds away from the start of the third quarter. Cash, 2 fouls. We'll see how that affects Shanasia Cash. The muscle in the middle. She will not get, 3 fouls. She picked up that final foul with just about 30 seconds remaining in the first half, and that is huge. Cash, already 3 fouls for SMU. But Temple, they will have the opening possession of the third quarter. Owls' first time at home this year. Fans happy to see them back here on North Broad Street, looking to add to their 11-point lead. Mackins, who was fantastic in the first quarter, unable to hit, but another offensive rebound. That trend continues early on for Temple. Great on the glass.
Well, everybody, everyone on their team has 3 to 4 boards a game, so there's not one just key rebounder, although Davis does a great job.
Mackins falling away, unable to hit the 3. Underneath, the other way, blocked from behind. Neung got a fingertip to it. And then Neung getting it done in multiple ways. Mackins setting things up. Davis at the elbow. Neung drives in, the little floater, she's got it.
That's a little set play, and she's wide open going to the hole.
Nice soft touch on that one.
Both teams have kind of settled down here in the third quarter, trying to work their quarter-court offense.
It was run and gun early on, looking for Bayless underneath. The pass came off the iron, and Temple happy to take it.
I think if you would have reflected on the first half, I thought that Temple had more points in the paint than they did. They only had 10 points in the paint versus 16 for SMU. There's one.
Davis on cue, ears burning, points in the paint.
Yeah, they really shot too many threes. I'm sure that Coach talked about that. They kind of got into just running and gunning and shooting that 3 for Temple, and they weren't going down. So in the second quarter.
Mia Davis leads all scorers, 12 points, already 9 rebounds. The long 2 into the hands of Mackins. She's going to look to press. Mackins, Neung, no trouble on the fast break.
Yeah, Jakia White committed to the ball too quickly and left the weak side wide open.
Lena Neung, 8 points on 3 of 8 shooting. The Temple, that defense forcing turnovers, another transition basket, and that will trigger a Mustangs timeout. Temple, much the way they started the game, A great start here in the third quarter, and the Owls extend their lead to 19.
At SMU, I found professors who care about my success.
And the space to take risks.
Make mistakes and grow quickly.
These experiences are helping me chart my own course.
Dallas's can-do culture and SMU support bring out the best in me.
We are creators, innovators,
disruptors, builders,
and problem solvers shaping the future.
If we think it, it gets done.
That's the enterprising spirit of SMU.
Come reimagine the world with us.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Big changes are on the way.
Scores!
3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a fourth straight year. Cueto from 30! Unbelievable!
And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
Owls on an 8-0 run to start the third quarter. They got off to a great start in the game, and an equally impressive start here as we head back down to the sideline to check in with Varun.
So, Kent, we've talked about how both of these teams are really young. Temple and SMU feature a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, and sometimes when you have that, what you have to do as a coach is keep it simple. So Coach Cardoza for Temple has been saying that we don't really tell the players when and when not to run in transition. We just basically say, when you have the opportunity to run, go. Temple is a very athletic team. They're utilizing that athleticism. They've ripped off 8 straight to begin the second half, as you mentioned, Kent, and they're getting out and running, and they're extending their lead to near where it was after one quarter. So again, for this Temple team and for this SMU team, sometimes it's as simple as keeping it simple, and the players don't have to overthink, and they can just go execute.
Well put. Thanks, Varun. Coach, you and I had the opportunity to speak with both these coaches earlier this week, and we spoke with Coach Travis Mays. He said your team was impressive, their bounce-back victory on Wednesday at ECU. He said, look, Temple, they're more athletic and they're more skilled than ECU. We're going to have to play a better game if we're going to come away victorious, and you're seeing that athleticism and the skill from the Owls.
They're athletic, and they're also they're big at certain positions. Their guards are strong, tall, lanky guards. And, you know, they're fighters, so they're not going to make anything easy for you.
Well, that is the case from always the case on North Broad Street, something they take pride in at Temple University. Bayless able to step out, hits the long 2, does the sophomore center. Big basket for the Mustangs.
Mays has wanted her to take that shot every time she catches it. She passes it off a lot more than she should, but that's why he wants her to shoot it. She's got a good-looking shot.
And well within her range. Good to see her take it there. Maybe that builds the confidence. Underneath, right at Bayless, and Bayless unable to stop Alexa Williamson, not phased at all.
Alexa Williamson, she's very athletic. She can jump out of the gym, and you know, she just got up and shot right over her.
Bayless, another long 2, well off the mark. Mustangs unable to keep it afloat.
That's when I talked about how good that shot was. But she was a little further back. If you saw, she was like, you know, she was probably 18 feet out. She needs to take a good maybe 12, 14-footer.
19-point Owls lead, 6.5 remaining in the third. We've seen both these teams go on runs. Temple getting back to the offense we saw early on. The movement inside, off the back of the iron. Davis, the rebound and the putback. Mia Davis.
I'm going to tell you the difference here. The difference in the Owls right now is all of their shots have been in the paint. They're doing high-lows, they're throwing it to the low block, and they're getting quality shots, not shooting from 3.
Davis already a double-double, 10 rebounds, 14 points. Bradley for 3. Davis another rebound. And Davis had a heel on the baseline, so it'll be SMU ball, and that may actually be the better situation if she'd thrown it right to one of the Mustangs headed to the basket.
I'm surprised that SMU doesn't ISO Bradley down low. I mean, she's a big girl. No, I mean, if she gets her back to the basket, she's got a 6-foot player guarding her.
Driving inside, Bacon. Bacon, who was the offense for a while there in the first half. Able to get it going here in the second. Alexa Williamson slow to get back to her feet.
She's kind of holding her knee a little bit, but she's jogging off.
And right at big collision is Bacon lowered the shoulder, whistled with the foul. Williamson trying to walk it off indeed over on the sideline. Williamson, one of those players who may fly under the radar just a little bit, but incredibly impressive on both ends of the floor.
I'd like to see SMU get up in their shorts a little bit here and make something happen. When they got their steals, it ignited their offense. Things started happening, so their defense needs to really pick up here.
SMU, they can get out in your face. Davis unable to hit it, but the rebound. Atkinson headed to the line, the senior from Virginia. That's one thing SMU takes pride in, and we haven't seen it a whole lot, is getting in your face defensively. And Coach Cardoso said as much. She said they have the ability. This is a team that will pressure you, force turnovers. Not a lot of that thus far from the Mustangs.
Well, they're limiting their opponent to under 60 points a game, SMU has been. But right now, you've got 50 points on the board in the third quarter. So not their best defensive effort that we've seen for the year, but also a more physical Temple team, a more seasoned Temple team, one that I think is going to vie for the top 4 spots in the league.
Well, what we've seen today, very impressive from the Owls here at home. All the parity in the American. They're certainly putting the message out there that they are here to compete for a title. Obviously, UConn, the top of the standings, and rightfully so.
I think as SMU grows up a little bit and gets used to playing together, they'll use the skip pass and start moving off the ball more. I think, they're doing a little bit too much dribble without a purpose, and they're a little bit stagnant still offensively.
Is that just a symptom of the youth of this team?
Yeah, I think you grow, as the game goes, and just because you were a good scorer in high school doesn't mean you can come to college and do the same thing, especially with, people that are defending you that are way bigger.
Coach Mays said one thing he really wanted his players to do was to work on the trust, executing the process. Is sometimes when things happen, they revert to going one-on-one. They revert to what worked in high school. And as you pointed out, at this level, quite simply, it's just not going to be as effective.
I think continuity, offensive continuity, being able to reverse ball and do, skip passes and have better quality passing helps your offense.
And another rebound. Has 5, 8 points. Temple, so many players that could contribute in positive ways. A timeout taken, 4:42 remaining in the third. Owls lead the Mustangs 53-31 here on the American Digital Network.
At SMU, I found professors who care about my success.
And the space to take risks.
Make mistakes and grow quickly.
These experiences are helping me chart my own course.
Dallas's can-do culture and SMU support bring out the best in me.
We are creators, innovators,
disruptors, builders,
and problem solvers shaping the future.
If we think it, it gets done.
That's the enterprising spirit of SMU.
Come reimagine the world with us.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar. but often starts from within.
Big changes are on the way.
Temple leading SMU, 53-31, 4:42 remaining in the third. And, Coach, you hear the same things. Don't turn the ball over, hit your open shots, and dominate the glass. That is one thing Temple has really done today.
Well, they definitely have. They've out-rebounded SMU all afternoon here. And I think in the first half they shot too many threes. They shot 23 three-pointers. I'm pretty sure that Coach put the snuff on that. But they started going inside, getting their transition game going, working the high-low, giving Davis touches. And I'm really impressed with, just their guards and how well they share the ball.
Temple getting those second, third chance opportunities because of the rebounds, out-rebounding SMU 39-24 in total rebounds. And particularly in the first half, they came out early on. SMU were getting very few second and third chance, if any third chance opportunities on the glass. And you're right, the guards getting into the act. Traditionally, you think about rebounding, you think about your post players. You've seen those owl guards come down into the paint to snag some rebounds as well. And when they're doing their job, everybody is involved. Well, that is a tough thing to stop. Coach Cardoza a bit more pleased than she was early in this game. In the second half, SMU went on that run. Temple has been able to clamp down on them here in the third. Mustangs trying to get that offense together. Been times it's been hard to be on the same page. Kayla White unable to hit it, kept alive, but right into the hands of an owl. Here comes Temple into the front court. Lost it. Came up with it, but the offensive foul will go against Temple.
I was trying to be in her mind on that series. I think Ashley Jones had about 23 things she was going to do, and she just didn't do it. I mean, she just got caught up. Once you penetrate that free throw line extended, you have to have a decision made, and she didn't have one.
Jones looking outside, had an open teammate, thought about taking it herself. The result, Mustangs ball, see if they can do something with it. Jakia White, we have not seen much from her.
Well, they need a little faster tempo here. They're behind in the game quite substantially, and they can't just take their time.
Bradley underneath. Bradley able to get her own rebound. Bacon will reset things. Florence Chimanga, the junior from Montreal, Canada, trying to give him that size down in the paint. 3:30 remaining in the third. Temple going right back to work.
Taking their time. They're not really in a hurry to throw the ball away or anything. But I think this has been a well-played game as far as turnovers go.
Atkinson blows by the defender.
I mean, they're taking some quality shots here. I mean, everything's at the rim.
That's up Shannon Atkinson right by Chimanga. And you said it, maybe early on, you see the move right here. Great first step. And if you have a first step like that, difficult if not impossible for the defender to catch up to. Temple, a lot of three-pointers early in this game. They were hitting a lot, not as many in the second quarter. It seems like Coach Cardoza has put the kibosh on that. They have gone back to the paint and gone back to their bread and butter here in the third quarter. Another basket, courtesy of Shannon Atkinson.
Well, she's a tall, lanky, tough competitor. She stepped up last game and really gave him some good minutes. So you're seeing her kind of turn it up.
Bacon, defender in her face, over to Kayla White.
Yeah, it's almost too guard-oriented. I haven't seen their post touch it most of the game. They're just in there, trying to body people up. Cash has been, virtually non-existent in this game.
Davis, the baseline jumper.
Davis needs to get her points here, but she's got 10 rebounds already, and what she got for points here, 16.
Coach, how different is this SMU team with Janaisha Cash on the bench?
Way different. I mean, she's their catalyst of everything that they do. She's on the Cheryl Miller watch list. I mean, she's everything. She's the muscle in the middle. They don't have a middle now. And so, you know, it's too guard oriented, and they're just living and dying by the three right now.
Cash, who picked up that third foul late in the second quarter. You have not seen much of her here in the second half. Number 33, the Keystone State native, not had opportunities. This one batted out of bounds.
I think, you know, Coach Travis might be a little bit maybe upset that she hasn't gotten more involved, and maybe he's letting her sit there a little bit and think about it. I mean, part of me wants her back in the game right away and let her just live and die by if she want to foul out. But, I mean, they need her.
Kayla White driving baseline right into the teeth of the Owls defense. The outlet up to Neon in transition, unable to finish. Now SMU the other way. 3-on-2 for the Mustangs. And a much-needed basket bacon there for SMU.
Well, there she stopped and let the defense go past her and squared up and shot, and that's why she had a good result. Little high-low action, that's their bread and butter right there.
Davis the basket and the foul. The junior from Baltimore, the double-double machine, already 18 points to lead all scorers and 10 rebounds for Mia Davis.
Well, she had somebody smaller on her there. That was a great isolation, good high-low, and that's what they've been doing this whole quarter. Very impressed with their offense.
The Charm City native, 20 points, 10 rebounds. She has had a double-double in her last 6 games, averages a double-double. Another one of those 20 players on the Cheryl Miller Award watch list, and rightfully so. 63 seconds remaining in the third as Desiree Mathis comes on, the freshman out of Waco University High School. Both she and Whitfield coming off of concussion protocol. Coach May said we may see a little bit of them, but they're still trying to get back to full fitness.
Yeah, with a minute to go, they have the ball. You know, you usually want to get a 2-for-1 here. Try to get 2 series against 1. They need to have a sense of urgency, I think.
That is something we've not seen from the Mustangs in this one. We saw it a little bit in the second quarter. They got down early. They trailed by 22. They're able to come back. They cut it to a single-digit deficit, but have not seen the sense of urgency here in the third quarter. Shaminga, the 6'3" junior center from Quebec, at the line.
Yes, they've got some good big bodies, but they're not isolating them and they're not giving them touches. So, you can't move around that athleticism that they have with the Owls. You have to isolate them. You have to give them some touches.
Shaminga will have another opportunity here. Able to take advantage.
She hasn't played a whole lot for them, and I think Coach is trying to get her some reps here.
Owls looking to end the quarter on a high note.
See, this high-low gives them a double-low post, and that's where they're really good with this rebounding. They stick 2 posts down there, and it's hard for people to get any boards.
This is a tough, gritty team, and even though gritty was the word we heard from Travis Mays, I think right now it applies more to the Owls and their local product, Ashley Jones, transfer from West Virginia. And there's just something about Philadelphia players. They have that strength. Davis, not to say they don't have it in Baltimore too. Davis proves that.
Well, Davis has some amazing hands. I mean, if there's a loose ball or if there's a ball in her vicinity, she's got it.
Davis leads all scorers. 21 points. SMU with the rebound, looking for the shot. The 3 at the end of the quarter, in and out, no good. And just 10 minutes remaining, a tall hill to climb for the Mustangs of SMU as they trail Temple 64-35. Fourth quarter coming up after this on the American Digital Network.
At SMU, I found professors who care about my success.
And the space to take risks.
Make mistakes and grow quickly.
These experiences are helping me chart my own course.
Dallas's can-do culture and SMU support bring out the best in me.
We are creators innovators,
disruptors, builders,
and problem solvers shaping the future.
If we think it, it gets done.
That's the enterprising spirit of SMU.
Come reimagine the world with us.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Big changes are on the way.
Scores!
3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a fourth straight year. Cueto from 30! Unbelievable!
And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
Temple shooting a whopping 61%, 11 of 18 from the field in the third quarter. The Owls extend their lead as we get ready for the start of the fourth here on the American Digital Network. Alongside Angela Beck, I'm Kit McConico. We head down courtside to check in with Varun.
Well, Kit, a terrific third quarter, like you said, for Temple. And this is a team that had won 3 games in a row coming into this one. But Coach Cardozo wasn't particularly happy with those games. In fact, she was more laudatory for the team's loss to then number 6 South Carolina. They lost 78-71. The reason that Coach Cardozo had good things to say is because she thought that her team paid attention to detail the entire way through. She thought they were focused. They played good defense against the Gamecocks throughout the entire game. And she didn't think that was the case during their 3 victories that they've won in succession coming into this one. So I'm sure that she'll have some good things to say if Temple finishes this one strong, because it does look like the Owls came to play and focused in a big way here at McGonigal.
Absolutely right about that, Varun. Thank you. Coach, it's one thing you and I talked about speaking with Coach Cardozo. Even though they lost, sometimes a loss can be a good thing, and that was the case against then number 6 South Carolina. They lost by just 7 points, but her team, they played the full 40 minutes. They did what they needed to do. They ultimately came up 7 points shy, but a loss like that can tell you a lot about a young team.
Well, they defended, and that's what she keeps thinking is their weakness, is their defense. I think, you know, their effort and their physicality is going to keep them in most games. So, you know, their outside shooting, you know, I think it's a little bit suspect at times because, but with Mackins, I mean, I think she's a go player. You know, she can go anytime. But other than that, I see them being a really great team here down the stretch.
Well, they have been. You take a look at it, it's been a tale of quarters. They were 50% from the field, 11 of 22 in the first. They were just 21%, 4 of 19 in the second, a whopping 61%, 11 of 18 from the field in the third. And we'll see which Owls team we see here in the final 10 minutes.
Well, it's not just getting shots, but getting quality shots, and that's what she's got them doing.
Big rebound underneath, unable to get the putback to go. Stolen away by Atkinson. Another defensive rebound. The glass dominated by the Owls today here at McGonigal. And the other way, the rebound from Atkinson on one end and the layup on the other from the Virginia native.
Once again, a little high-low isolation, and she's very quick on the trigger, and she's got, you know, great hands.
Good size, great hands. A big basket here, much needed from Cash. So Janasia Cash, the junior forward from McKeesport, Pennsylvania, didn't see her at all in the third quarter. Had 3 fouls in the first half. Gets to start here in the fourth, and we'll see what impact she can make for SMU.
Well, that's a much-needed basket for her, and let's see if it maybe gets her fired up and gets her team fired up. I'm trying to extend their defense a little bit.
Temple going back to that long-range attempt. A lot of threes in the first half, not as many in the third. They were content to go into the paint. Out of bounds, it'll stay Mustangs ball. Ariana Whitfield, the junior guard from Houston, Both she and Mathis coming off the concussion protocol, getting some minutes here in the second half. Driving in underneath, hangs unable to hit. The rebound from Atkinson. Big minutes here in the second half. Into the front court, blocked. Out to Mackins for three.
Well, that was Kashkin back in transition, getting the block, but not recovering the ball, and they find the three-point shooter.
The sophomore from the Tar Heel State. If she gets her feet set, watch out.
I'd like to see Janasia get down low here. She's staying at the high post, and they need to get her inside. She's one of the best rebounders. There we go. She keeps staying out.
Bacon driving in. Back to Shemanga. The three ball for SMU, and they have it. Mathis with her first bucket of the ball game.
Why not? You know, she's coming off a concussion protocol, and so she hasn't had a whole lot of looks, but that was a good one.
SMU, the defense forces the turnover. Owls unable to get it across half court. Take another look out to Mathis. Desiree Mathis, the freshman from Waco University. They produce some great athletes, home of one LaDainian Tomlinson, among others.
I think anytime you wear the number 1, you got to have a little game, don't you?
I think you're exactly right.
I mean, I would always kind of be leery about what player would pick that number.
That says something if you're going to put the number 1 on.
You better play.
You're right on that one. SMU, that full court press, looking to force some turnovers. Temple content to take time off the clock. Ashley Jones has been outstanding. Almost all the Owls have. Mackins for three. Oh my, that was something else. Talk about a quick release.
Yeah, that's a very quick release, and she was back in a WNBA or NBA range.
They took that one from the corner. Saw the shot clock winding down. Marissa Mackins.
But once again, cashes at the high post.
The other way, who else?
Well, Mackins is just pouring it on here. Last 3 possessions, it's been all Mackins.
Mackins now 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. And she can hit from just about anywhere.
Well, her English on that ball was real good.
Mackins, the sophomore from Durham, North Carolina. Coaches call her quite simply a shooter, and that's about as high praise as you can get as an offensive player.
Yeah, she's hard to defend, and if you're that good of a shooter and you're hard to defend, that's a great combination.
Another one hard to defend, Jonasia Cash.
Well, finally on the low block where I've been asking her to go.
Back to Mackins, another three. Mackins and the Owls bench.
You see her, she's doing the shake off. Yeah, you need to shut the front door right now.
The Owls bench was waiting for that one. As soon as they saw Mackins was going to get the pass, they were ready to explode. She gave them a reason to.
There's a lot of deflections on that Owl team. They deflect, they tip, they fight. There's 4 people around the ball. Now she's like, oh, you've done enough. We're going to take you out.
Mackins putting on a show here in the fourth quarter. Marissa Mackins.
Yeah, that was an amazing run there that she had. So SMU's just, didn't really come up to play defense. What we talked about in the pregame just hasn't happened.
And for a young team, you're on the road, you're playing an athletic, skilled team in Temple at home, the first home game of the year for Temple. And this is something a young team has to learn. You cannot let the home team take that kind of advantage early on, because SMU has been trying to climb the hill basically from the opening tip. The other way, Kayla White draws the foul. White will head to the line.
I think Coach is probably happy that they're pressing him here late, because Temple probably needs a little bit of work on their press. And Coach Travis Mays doesn't want to leave this gym without fighting, giving it a good fighting effort. So there's a turnover, and possibility to score.
Their first conference game of the year, it was a loss to UConn. He said there was very little positive that they could come away with in that 80-42 loss. Conversely, Wednesday at ECU, they got the 55-47 loss. There were some mistakes there, 27 turnovers, but they came away with a big victory on the road for a young team. It has been a different story today here in the city of brotherly love for SMU. Alexander still with it. Angelina Young, and the 6'2" grad transfer shows off her range. Coaches told us she is persistent. She's been better defensively, better on the glass, and that is the reason she's gotten more minutes. She's taken advantage.
She puts in the body of work, you know, and that's why Coach says, you know, she's getting better, because she's constantly trying to get better every day. I'm impressed with her. I mean, I think she could, you know, maybe go to the next level. Definitely play overseas, and I mean, with her ability to shoot the three, her rebounding ability, you know, her quickness, she's pretty amazing.
Has the size at 6'2", great first step, and like all good players, she makes it look easy. She's just smooth. To be that tall, to have the handle she does.
And she's wearing the number 1.
And she's
okay.
There we go.
Back to that.
I think we figured it out.
So she knew that she was that before she got there.
SMU.
And she's a smarty pants. She's in graduate school.
She is indeed.
So why not let them pay for your graduate school? How smart is that?
Wise woman. Hats off. Alexander, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Young looking for the return. Won't get it. And out of bounds. Kayla White unable to hold on, or was she? No, it'll be Mustangs ball, excuse me. But a timeout on the floor. 4:41 remaining. Owls lead the Mustangs 81-50 on the American Digital Network.
At SMU, I found professors who care about my success.
And the space to take risks.
Make mistakes and grow quickly.
These experiences are helping me chart my own course.
Dallas's can-do culture and SMU support bring out the best in me.
We are creators, innovators,
disruptors, builders,
and problem solvers shaping the future.
If we think it, it gets done.
That's the enterprising spirit of SMU.
Come reimagine the world with us.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Big changes are on the way.
A fourth quarter dominated by the home team. The Owls at McGonigal Hall for the first time in 2020, putting on a show. And in the fourth quarter, it's been largely the sophomore guard, number 5, Marissa Mackins, doing it all over. Mackins from a long range. No trouble. Mackins inside, able to draw the foul. Mackins.
Just Mackins. It's all about her. I mean, what a great shot. We talked about it early on, but I mean, nothing but net.
The confidence from number 5 in white and cherry. We saw it. And her teammates know that when she's shooting the ball like this and she gets her feet set, gets an open shot, chances are, dollars to donuts, it's going in.
Well, they have a lot of versatility on that team, too, with, you know, players that can guard the post from the guard position, you know, that can play multiple positions, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think the versatility makes them very hard to guard.
You and I both very impressed with this Temple side. Currently 5th in the American standings at 2-1 record, looking up at UConn, 3-0, Tulane, 2-0, USF, both 1-0 in conference. But I would say if you're in the American, watch out for the Owls. Chimanga from the free throw line, unable to hit. Cash with the rebound. Cash looking to do it herself, draws the foul.
Yeah, that's what we were looking for at the beginning of the game. Her being able to get the ball down low and attack in the basket, which she's so good at.
Shawnasia Cash, 3 fouls in the first half, picked up the third just about 60 seconds before halftime. And that's been one of the big differences for SMU. Without number 33 on the floor, they're a completely different team.
Yes, and Coach was worried about that prior to the game. The first thing he said, I said, what were the keys? And he said, limit our fouls. So he didn't want, obviously, Janasia, their best player, to be in foul trouble. So that was a big key because she was out. I mean, she only had 5 minutes in the first half.
As good as she is, if she's not on the floor, well, simple as it seems, just unable to do much, particularly in the low post. Post kicked out by Kayla White. And Coach Mays told us we've got to keep the fouls to a minimum, stop the Owls in transition, and not give them second chance points. They've done a better job not fouling in the second half, and they've done a better job in the transition defense, but second and third chance opportunities aplenty for Temple the entire game.
I think they just need to establish a low post at some time in their offense and get some high-low going just like the Owls did. Because when you run a 4-out 1-in, you can get a lot of isolations, but they really didn't work on those in this game.
Kayla White with the long 2 for SMU, but with under 4 minutes remaining, it may be too little too late for the Mustangs.
I think that Coach Mays may be a little bit disappointed with this. I think the margin of victory is quite large, and I think everyone thought going in this could be a single-digit game. Definitely highly more competitive than what we've seen. And I think it gets down to he's going to be upset with the effort because we never really saw him shift gears. Like their gear was like third and a half, and they need 5 gears.
It looked for a while there from SMU. They weren't on the same page offensively. We saw the turnovers, just miscues. But you're right, just unable to find that 4th and 5th gear. Temple's had it. That has not been a question. Give them credit. They came out, Alexander with the basket and the foul. The Owls came out on fire, knew what they had to do, and they really took it to the Mustangs from the opening tip.
Yeah, and I think when you build a program, back to Travis, he's trying to build this program. This is a tough league from top to bottom. And when you're picked from, picked to win, at 12 in preseason, it does hurt your confidence a little bit, but then you need to fight more. And I think that's what he would expect is just a little bit more fight than what they had. Now, I do credit the Owls for, amazing offensive display.
Mathis drives in. Defense wise not to commit the foul there. Taking time off the clock more important than points now for Temple. SMU, they'll be back at home taking on Tulane on Wednesday here at Moody Arena. They've been much better at home under Coach Mays than they have been on the road, and that's one thing that this young team will have to remedy. Neon steps back, in and out.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting matchup with them and Tulane because Tulane's really come out of the gates very strong, and they have a lot of confidence. So if they are able to hold that win against them, that will give them a much-needed boost.
Temple, they will remain at home Thursday, taking on the 25th ranked Bulls of USF. It'll be here 7 p.m., another good one.
Well, that's going to be a really exciting game to watch because it's going to tell you how far Temple is from the top. And USF is already proven in the preseason to be really strong. They've got a win against Texas, and they have lots of different components that you have to guard. So I don't know. That's kind of a toss-up. I don't know what to call on that one.
It's a measuring stick game for both of those teams, for USF and for Temple. I think that's an opportunity for Temple hosting that game to really surprise some people.
If they can defend, it's going to go back to the defense. If they can have a great defensive game against them, they'll have a shot at winning.
The baseline jumper.
Everybody's getting in the act here.
Kira Ford, the senior from Downingtown, PA. Mathis from the elbow. Cash with the rebound. Out with Whitfield, will reset things. The three from White, in and out, batted right back to her. White, the little floater, drops it in.
So somehow Cash has 15 points. So, you know, as hard as we've been on her for getting in foul trouble, she only has 5 rebounds with 15 points. She came out of nowhere to get those.
The vast majority of those, I would say almost double digits of those 15 points have come in the second half. And you wonder what a different game it had been had she played in the third quarter. She was on the bench the entirety of the third quarter with those 3 fouls.
Well, there's a good example. Mathis is at 3-point range. Cash has got her man behind her, and she doesn't touch the ball. So these young guards have got, Mathis is just a freshman, but she's got to, you know, that's your go-to girl. She's wide open on the block. Get her the ball.
Well, Temple, a very impressive performance at home, and the first time at McGonigal in 2020. The victory, it will move them to 8-7 overall, and more importantly, it'll drop SMU to 7-8 overall. They'll be 1-2 in conference. The Owls with the win now 10-6 and 3-1 in the American. A big victory, a statement win at home for the Owls. Just 0.7 seconds remaining. And there is the final buzzer. The final. Temple on top of SMU, 85-62. Owls impressive today.
Super impressive. You know, they came out with all guns blazing and put a perfect game plan together.
They did indeed. Got off to the quick start. They put the young Mustangs behind early on the road. Ultimately, SMU, a very, very well played second quarter, but just couldn't come back after digging themselves such a hole. And I think Coach Cardozo will be pleased with what she's seen today. That being said, a tough one on Thursday. The 25th ranked Bulls of USF come to town, a measuring stick game, and we will see if the Owls are able to build on the momentum of today's victory.
Well, lots of good contribution. Davis, 23 points, 11 rebounds, 8 rebounds from Alexander, 8 rebounds from Atkinson. That's their bread and butter, hitting the boards, getting second shot opportunities.
They did it. They were dominant on the glass. We talked about it early in the game. They gave them those second and third chance opportunities. Owls took full advantage. And SMU, fourth-year head coach Travis Mays, he's going to have to take this young team back to the drawing board. Certainly some issues to remedy as they get deeper into conference play.
Yeah, I think they have to look at their leadership. They're going to have to, really depend on the Cashes of the world to bring them back.
Head down to check in with Varun, standing by with Coach Cardozo after her Owls come away victorious.
Here with the winning coach, Coach Cardozo. Thank you so much again for your time. You guys started the first quarter and the third quarter on a 15-2 run. What did you like about the way you guys came out in the second half?
It was much better, I think, even on the defensive end. Just like the first quarter, we limited what they want to do well. And Marissa and Mia scored some big shots for us in that third quarter.
When you have players that are going like that and making big shots, and you can kind of sense it, you mentioned this week that you don't want to take the ball out of their hands and want them to shoot. Can you see that encouragement on your part helping them to get better?
Most definitely. I mean, I definitely believe that. I thought it was a great team effort on our part. A lot of guys were involved, making extra passes and rebounding the basketball. Obviously, the fourth quarter was a little ugly, but we were able to get other guys on the floor, which was good.
Thank you for your time. Congratulations. Now let's bring in the player of the game, Ms. Davis. Congratulations on the win. It seemed like you guys were really setting the tone early, especially you getting easy buckets inside. How much do you pride yourself on your aggressiveness?
I pride myself a lot on it because I know that's a big part of my game, always been aggressive and physical without fouling.
And then when it came to the second half, you guys got off to a really good start. and like extended your lead, kind of put this thing away. What was the message from Coach at halftime, and how do you think you guys executed that message?
Coach message halftime was just basically take care of the ball, make sure we play together. So I feel as though we came out second half. We had a little bit of a rough second quarter, so we wanted to come out on a better start. So we just moved the ball around, rebounded, and did well in transition.
And then finally, you guys have now won 4 straight games. Seems like you're starting to hit your stride. Where do you think this team is as compared to the beginning of the year, and then how much better can you guys get?
I just feel in the beginning of the year, we had a little bumps, but we still have a little tough times, but we're just working day by day to get better.
Thank you for your time, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Kit, Angela?
Thanks, Varun. Temple impressive, led by Mia Davis, 23 points, 11 rebounds, her 7th straight double-double. Mackins chipped in with 20, a complete performance from the Owls. They have now won 4 in a row. SMU, a tough game on the road, and we will see what the Young Mustangs have coming up. That'll do it for us. Big thanks for our entire crew. For Varun Ragapathy, for Angela Beck, I'm Kit McConico. The Owls 1-0 at home in 2020 as they get an 85-62 victory over SMU.